Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's Danny Limelight. And I need all of you to subscribe to According to Wiz podcast on Facebook, YouTube, and all other platforms.
What's good, party people? This is According to Woods, and I have the honor and privilege to be joined yet again with another WrestleMania review. This being WrestleMania 10 with Fierce Female's own BigFemVader Ayesha Raymond. Ayesha, what's going on?
How you doing? I'm just playing with my little light clicker thing. I'm just like, too bright.
You know who never said that?
Who?
Stevie Wonder. There we go. Too bright. Too bright. And also my mom, in reference to me. Yeah, there you go. So, No, but, man, WrestleMania 10, it happened almost, gosh, I do the math. This is 1994 we're talking, right? So, like, over 20 years ago. And, wow, man.
That's what I was like. I was waiting for you to do the math. I was like, don't let me do it because it shows my age. And my age is a mystery. I like to keep a mystery.
Okay, 22, right?
No,
22.
What? Yeah.
22. 22 is what we're going. So you weren't even alive when WrestleMania 10 came around. Which this is going to be some awesome fodder when we fucking try to kayfabe it, and it's all going to go. It's a work. It's a fucking work.
We've already done pre-show of something that I may have missed, which you're going to break my heart on, so it's cool. It's fine.
I mean, Jerry Lawler has never said misogynist things. Oh wait, yes, that's like his whole fucking commentary career. Good God.
It's being a kid and watching it. You know, you don't notice it until you're like older, and when you notice it, you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
I watched Matilda the other day, and I can't unsee some things. So it was a different time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, Miss Trenchbull's the mole is what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about child abuse, animal abuse, like literally abuse in general, child abduction, like attempted murder. Like there's so many things that just it's a Disney film as well. But why? What? No.
I mean, maybe that was a precursor to what we would see in Danny DeVito in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right? Like, maybe he was sowing the seeds then.
No, but Frank is awesome.
Yes! Oh, God. My favorite episode is DB, Dumpster Baby. Fuck yeah.
Oh, no, Rumham all the way.
Okay, I like it. See, this is why we're friends. Ayesha. Oh,
but let's do what people came here for. WrestleMania 10, shall we?
WrestleMania 10. Yes, this happened on the somewhere in March, right? No, maybe April. March 20th, 1994. There you go. I'm bad with numbers. Good God. But I mean, we started off the night with actually a dark match, right? Because we had, and I wish there's some footage on it. Maybe there is on the YouTube. But we had the Heavenly Bodies, Dr. Tom Pritchard and Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey, and with flanked by Jim Cornette, and against the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch. Man. Again, I don't know if there was any footage of this. Maybe it was just for the live crowd. But just like 2021 me, it's just like my mind is blown.
I've only read about this match. I've not seen it. So if anybody wants to send me footage, please send me footage. So just reading of what happened, I've only heard like verbal text. So if you want to go over what happened, if you've seen it, please.
So I'm going to unpack some things, right? So we've got the Heavenly Bodies, right? Dr. Tom Pritchard, who is the older brother of, WWE executive Bruce Pritchard, aka Brother Love, right? So we've got him here, and also the partner of one Glenn Kane Jacobs in the in a wrestling school out in Knox County, Tennessee, right? So we've got him here. Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey, unfortunately, no longer with us, but the reason why they called him Gigolo, it was just the thing that he did. He did this thing. And it was like weirdly entrancing to me. It's still like I'm surprised nobody's made a GIF of that. That just is my all-time GIF. Everybody's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm going to respond with a GIF of Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey going like this. It's just amazing, right? Because he's got the handlebar mustache, full-on mullet, hairy chest and whatever, and that should be everybody's reply to anything, right? And then they're flanked by Jim Cornette, right? Jim Cornette, he would go on to be a greater on-air personality, heading up with Danny Davis, the OVW contingent that rose up John Cena, Randy Orton, John Cena, and a litany of others, right? And then yes, absolutely. And then the Bushwhackers, Luke and Butch. Now, they were pre-WWE or WWF at this time. They were the Sheep Herders, and they were like the bloodiest tag team about, like drew blood everywhere, spilt blood everywhere. But it's funny, right? Because like people from the Commonwealth, especially from like islands on... Come on, what is the Bushwhackers?
They're supposed to be headhunters. They're savage I'm sorry.
Okay, so you want to know the Fiji kind of interpretation of it? Okay, so people from the bush, right? Like, places that aren't, I guess, westernly developed, no, paved roads and lights and all that, whatever. And then whackers.
Running electricity.
Yeah, and then whackers, as in masturbation. So people from the bushwhackers. Just saying. Bushwhackers.
Done. Like that's when what you've just done is the same feeling I had when I found out Roddy Piper was Canadian. Like,
oh,
take something else away from me. Take it all. Just have it all.
Here, I'll send you this. There.
No.
I'll send you that. The Roddy Piper is all out of bubblegum soda. There you go. With the man himself.
I also watched They Live the other day. Awesome movie. I'm sorry.
Yo, there's nothing that has changed. Good God, that movie still stands up. Nothing has changed. It's like a fine wine. Good God.
Oh, I know. Should we go for the first match? Do you
Yeah.
want to do it or should I?
Oh, I got a whole deal, man. My MVP of WrestleMania 10 is the late great Owen Hart, the Rocket, the whatever you want to call him, a Canadian superstar. I don't care. We share the same birthday, and that's actually tomorrow, May 7th. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately,
Adanjobi omedetou gozaimasu.
there you go. I like it.
In Japanese.
Thank you. Yeah, but I share it with Owen Hart, and my son's name is Owen. I'm all Owen all the time, man. So obviously the best. Anybody that says this isn't the best opening match for WrestleMania, what are we fucking doing? Like, what do you even watch wrestling, bro? Or sis? Or anything, whatever you want to identify as, and that's cool. Yeah, human, dog, feline, reptile, reptilian. I don't give a damn. There's motherfuckers on Mars and going like, best shit ever. Just saying.
It's the opening sequence for me. It literally is the wrist lock, flip over, nip up, flip over, take down, and then it's just like, oh, it's just like, I'm sorry, I even had to kick the camera. Like you said, wrestling at its finest. And for me, I have always been under the impression, and it is facts and it is true, I'm sorry, but Owen was the better out of the two, and he always will forever be. You know, even in the heavens as what he's where he is, and I am also one of those people who agree with Martha's and the family's decision. Like after what happens, I'm sorry. Like if that was my husband, he worked his entire life for his family to benefit from his career. So the only people that should be benefiting from his career are his family. The only reason he was still ever wrestling, and it like the Vice thing, I could only watch that once, but. Yeah, I can't do it. It was one time, just to watch it. Not again. Can't do it again.
Yeah, maybe it's my morbid fascination, but I will always pop for an Owen story, even tragic as they may. And the fact that, Dr. Martha Hart, Oj, and Athena were a part of, the whole deal, which they haven't, since Owen's passing, haven't lent themselves to many interviews, especially Oj and Athena. It's kind of heartbreaking that Athena doesn't really have many memories of her dad, And so I just, I celebrate him here, and this is one that we could still celebrate. It's not like a Chris Benoit where, it just turned out whatever. This is somebody who was literally stolen from us as fans, stolen from his family, both the hearts, right, and then the hearts that he created in Martha, Oj, and Athena. So again, I want to celebrate his life and career, also his philanthropy, the Owen Hart Foundation, which the proceeds from this very shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees go to help. They're doing tremendous work. And again, that's the way that the family wants the legacy. That's the way that they feel like, okay, you want him to be remembered? We have a fucking foundation that's building schools in Kenya and across the world and raising literacy rates and everything like that. So, and Owen is a guy who, by all intents and purposes, would, stay with fans that he'd met in towns to not only save a buck, but also just that genuine rapport. He loved people, and his ribs are legendary. So there will never be another Owen Hart. And that's they ended the Vice, especially like the Vice Confidential, like the director's cut with Conrad Thompson. I'm like, man, what his career would have been like, because a year later, or less than a year later, Kurt Angle comes into the picture. The rise of Edge, which Edge actually had Owen's last match at a a house show somewhere. I can't even remember where, but that was Owen's last match, was against Edge. I think it was Edge and Christian and what have you. But yeah, man, it's sad to talk about, but I think the more positivity that we can kind of shine to his situation, especially this, in terms of his career, this win, this WrestleMania, is probably the shining star of his entire career in terms of notoriety. Yes, people can point to the Calgary Stampede in your house at the Calgary Saddle Dome. That's a good one, but that was more of a Hart family deal. This WrestleMania is Owen Hart. You could WrestleMania 10. You could say Owen Hartomania. That's it. I mean,
even the win, the progressiveness of the storyline and the progression and the entire build, it was about him finally proving that he could finally be better than his brother. And he did it. And it was just like, yes, sir. But
yeah, but it's funny because at the time we were doing the other way, right? We were like, boo, Owen, boo, which again, that's what we were supposed to do because he was the heel, and talking with Brett, in terms of the match, it was trying to figure out a way to keep Owen a heel, because all of the stuff that he did, especially for the time, was totally babyface. Like the flips and flies and all that, but it made sense. Versus like nowadays, where you can do 80, springboards and whatever, and that's not the finish.
Yeah, but he played a different type of heel. He was that almost kind of chicken shit cowardly heel.
Yes!
Almost that you just wanted to wring his neck, but you still wanted to see him work, but you still wanted to wring his neck.
Yes. And could we just say, right, like, best Insuguri ever? Right? Owen Hart's? Like, that Masawa, right? I'm going there. Who would you say? Best Insuguri ever?
The thing is, just because I love Owen so much, it would have to be Owen.
Yeah. Yeah. And this, they talk about thigh slaps and whatever. Man, that shit was crisp as fuck, man. Like, I still don't know if it was a thigh slap or he legitimately kick a motherfucker in the back of the head. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's because back then it wasn't as lazy and blatant as it is sometimes now. I mean, and realistically, if you slow down every footage of every fly slap that's on TV, they slap the opposite leg. Not the one that you're throwing. Not the one that's on the camera. Not the one that people can see. The one far away from the eyes so you don't actually know it's happening. Okay? Just to make sure you know that.
Yeah. Just, man. That was almost a blood and guts promo. Oh, God. Never mind. Never mind. Don't get me started. Good God. Oh, yeah. Don't get hot about it, Ayesha.
I can't take it. It's even worse when it's just like what. It's even worse for me. It's when you see memes and photographs and someone marks over the move, but you can blatantly see not only their hand there, but the print. And I'm like, what are you marking over? What are you excited for? This? Because I can do that all day.
Yeah.
I can do that until the end.
Well, they were marking out over the mark of the hand that slapped the thigh. There you go. That's what I'm gonna believe that. But yes, again, this stands out the test of time. Like you could basically put this match back in the 1970s, right? You can do it in the 60s of Gorgeous George. You can do it here in the 2000s. You could have put it in the ECW arena. This match stands out. If these two, Brett and Owen, and I know Brett takes himself like way too seriously, but fucking match like this is where you need to. You're an ass kicker. You're a professional wrestler. You're an ass kicker, right? So you gotta fucking take that shit seriously, right? So if these two are not on your all-time top 10, do you even watch wrestling, bro? Like.
The funniest thing is there's that old saying, when you have an awesome match, you walk past the people in the curtain just before they're about to go out and this top that.
Yeah.
They were the first match. Top that.
Yeah, a masterpiece. God. Yeah, so again, Brett Owen, just it still stands up. This is one where I got the most talk about thigh slaps. My mom slapped the shit out of me of all of them movie rental fees that I accrued because I just kept it whatever, and then also couldn't give it back when the fucking bill came at the end of the month when it was like $30 and $30 in the 90s wasn't like $30 today, man, and she would be livid. Or I would rewind that match, so whatever, that I fucked up the tape. And she would have to buy a new one, right? I spent so much money on this particular WrestleMania, or my mom did on my behalf. So again, fuck. This is why this match. And fuck, man. Here's the other thing. Wrestling was fun. Every match, crowd was hyped, and yes, they're at MSG, their home arena, right? But like, how much fun people were having. People used to actually have fun at wrestling matches. I know, right? Not sit there on their fucking hands looking cool. Not the fucking same guys in the third row, of every fucking pay-per-view and whatever. One looking like hippie Jesus, the other dude looked like what's the fucking guy, the Kitsukaro, right? And then the other, and Jesus Christ.
Was that your ad? Is that the one that you're allowed to have today? Is that your one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but again, how fun this was. We even see Vladimir, who is featured on a WWE, documentary and chronicles of being one of the longest fans ever, and he was dressed up with two other dudes, like literally like both side, almost like the God. There was a show about like a party down, like what is it, like caterers? They were dressed like caterers with big pink and black WWF across their button-down shirt. It was amazing.
So pretty.
So pretty. I want one of those. I'm gonna create one of those. Hell yeah. But second match, right? Because I can go our fucking hour on just the first match. Right?
I know.
But we had Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon defeating Doink and Dink the Clown. Now, this one was fun because they did reference. They start off the introductions with none other than Cy Sperling. And for those who don't know, that didn't grow up in North America or, just weren't of this era, Cy Sperling was the president and founder and user of the Hair Club for Men. Yes, there would be like half-hour long infomercials back in the 80s and 90s about like these balding, middle-aged dudes and shit like that, and then he would basically put a carpet on them and like, look at me, I could jump in the pool and all that shit. Now that's funny, and he brings out the late great Howard Finkel, because Finkel had the Caesar, right? And now the Fink has a huge, kind of healthy head of hair. Now that's funny because A, Bam Bam Bigelow, B, Drink the Clown, C, Luna Vachon, D, Dink the Clown, and then in the next match, Randy Savage. Where were you, Cy Sperling, for any of these motherfuckers? Because they all had not a full head of hair.
He's the only one that gets endorsed. No one else.
Like Doink and Dink had green Howard Finkles, right? Luna Vachon had the fucking shaved head mullet, right?
But that was self-induced.
Okay, and then fucking Bam Bam fucking tats on the damn, whatever, and then Much 3/4 of his hair came out in the match after with Crush. Where were you, fucking Cy Sperling? You're just like, no, that guy. That guy.
Him. Only him. No one else. I don't want to represent anybody else apart from him. That guy. That guy over there. Right here.
Oh, God. Wrestling's awesome. Wrestling is awesome, man.
Myself, personally, I can't stand Doink. I've said it before, I say it again, I just have to think about clowns. Even watching the match just made me cringe. I just can't. But it was just nice to see Luna, to be fair. Seeing her hit the splash, even though it screwed up everything in the end. Seeing her hit the splash, just seeing her in the ring, just seeing her again. I thank you for that, because I forgot how amazing she was. I really did. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. But yeah, she's one of the all-time greats. I imagine if Luna grew up maybe 15 years after. Oh man, she'd be a fucking star. She would have been that tail end of the fucking Gravy Bowl matches and shit like that, in the Attitude Era. That's why I say 15 years after. To place her...
Or even if she just went to, Glow.
Yeah, Glow. Mm.
Yeah, but she's character.
Character.
At the time, the only character, so it would have worked.
Yeah, no, she's great. And, in terms of the match, if you've seen a mixed tag match involving a dwarf, right? Just like WrestleMania 3 and the litany of dwarfs and King Kong Bundy and what have you. You've seen it all. Somebody fucking slips on a banana peel, almost crushes the fucking, Dorf and
the mirror spot is that I don't like him, but I live for the mirror spot. I just like that.
who? Yes.
How do you let these things fly?
Yeah. But see, here you say that, right? And I too have not a deathly fear of clowns, but I fucking don't like them. I think they're all axe murderers. But then, honestly, right? But the thing about it is, I pop for Doink, the whoopee cushion. He would kill motherfuckers, dude. Like, Ray Apollo would kill motherfuckers. Like, land on their fucking nose and shit. I mean, literally, like Yokozuna's bonsai drop, but frontwards. That's and all the fucking velocity that Macho Man Randy Savage had at the flying elbow, like all of that, and he just land on motherfuckers. Oh man! And then also the original Doink, Matt Bourne, his work in ECW as Born Again. Oh God! Everybody talks about Bray Wyatt and all these like maniacal fucking characters and everything like that. Okay, so there was a dude, Mark Lewin. Mark Lewin. Anybody that wants to fucking talk about like evil maniacal characters, Mark Lewin is bar none the best. Like him and Kevin Sullivan in Florida, right? And then they brought in the pre-woman, pre-Nancy Benoit, which we know how that ends. Woman. But yeah, woman, yes. And then the missing link, Dewey Robertson. That was a fucking... I mean, you had people thinking that they were actually like Satanists and everything like that. And Mark Lewin, again, the stuff that what Undertaker was doing and rolling the eyes and back of the head, you see it in like the 70s with Mark Lewin. And looked like $1 million, and he was aged out. Like he was already in his 50s when he took on this character. He was a white meat babyface for the most of his career. That spanned in like I want to say like the 50s is when he started, right? And he comes 20 years later, and he's this like maniacal. So great, so great. So, but Born Again, Matt Bourne's character in ECW. Along with Mark Lewin, right? They, in my mind's eye, Taker are cool, The Fiend is cool, but go back to that and then you talk to me. Just saying. Yeah. I'm just saying. And they come after. Any lists, maniacal characters, they come... Taker, with as great as he is and as longevity as his career has had, like, talk about making... Eddie Graham didn't have a fucking huge budget, or he probably did. He made a shit ton of money, and everybody there did, but it wasn't in production, right? So, Taker had all of Vince's New York money to kind of do the things that he wanted and whatever, so that's it. Like, Lewin did he made you believe he was fucking, again, like, sent from Satan.
Sure.
I love it. I'm just saying. So, there you go. But, yeah, Luna's great. She in this match, she's the all-star. She outworks everyone. And again, as great as she is, we forget that she is a member of the great Vachon family. Butcher Vachon, Mad Dog Vachon. Yes! They're all great. They're all crazy as all shit. I just love them and the French-Canadian contingent. Fuck yeah, man. Luna.
Missed. You make me sad. Highly sad.
There we go. Up there. Now in the next match, again, fun. This shit was fun. We had Randy Savage versus Crush flanked by Mr. Fuji in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Now, obviously, they have pretty much refined the Falls Count, criteria from 94 to now, because like these motherfuckers had a full 60 seconds. That's a minute to get back in the ring, right?
That gave me a migraine. I was just like, what? But what? I don't understand. But why?
And the pin first. It wasn't just knock the motherfucker on his ass and whatever, and then answer the 60 count or whatever. No. That's a pin. Like the first pin, is had by Crush in like maybe 90 seconds after he drapes Randy Savage across a guardrail, you know, and that was it. That like, and 1, 2, 3, and I forgot like, oh, the match wasn't over. They still had. Wow, it was.
Explain to me one more time, because from what I understand, this is what it was. Okay, so if you pin someone on the outside, you then had 60 seconds to put them back in the ring to pin them again?
No, so basically, you and again,
My brain was doing somersaults.
So basically, you pin the person, your foe, on the outside of the ring, right? Okay. And once the 1, 2, 3, which is already 3 seconds, right?
Okay.
Then the fallen foe that you just pinned has 60 seconds to get back into the ring to answer the count, and the match can continue. Which means the pin meant fuck all. Meant fuck all.
But this is why I didn't understand. What is the point of that stipulation? It's like
WWF in '94. That's it. Again,
no.
You know, it's the fucking guy losing his teeth in the UFC to get what we have at UFC every fucking weekend on ESPN Plus. Like, you needed this to get there, right? This is the unfinished product.
No, because the point of a match, the end of a match ends with a pin. So pin end. That's it. That's after that, no more. There's no more playtime. So why was there a need?
Yeah. And it's funny because we saw the Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns deal, and that was about the same, whatever, but no pins, right? So they got it together, even though there was that botch of the fucking handcuff, and you couldn't get the damn yeah. But, I mean, again, to get to that, and the fucking handcuffs being the only botch, you had to have this. Like in the evolution of a Falls Count Anywhere match presentation in the WWE.
Yeah, but even the description of the match sounds like a botch. It's like, do we need to double check that you actually won? I'll give you some time to catch your breath, and if you're okay, we'll continue. Basically.
Yeah, it's weird. But here's some fun ones, right? So, Crush, Macho Man comes out in all of the pomp and circumstance. That's literally his theme song and everything like that. There's a whole entrance. And Crush, right, who is a darker character than what we saw, in his previous WrestleMania outing in WrestleMania 9, where he was still Kona Crush, actually facing Doink. At WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas, right? So he's a darker character. He's got Mr. Fuji. Well, he's coming out, and Savage makes a beeline to him. And the most hilarious fucking thing about this was Mr. Fuji. He's waving the flag, and there's a fucking guardrail that he grips, and he just goes, because we don't see Savage like running in the shot, right? He just goes. And then we see fucking the flailing hair, the thinning hair of the late great Macho Man Randy Savage.
It was not sponsored by Hair Club for Men that night.
No, not at all, man. The glare from the back of his head. Oh man, it was. But he's great. I love so, and the finish of the match, right? Because they're all, pinning each other on different whatever. And again, for '94 WWF TV, this is before we knew about ECW. ECW was probably still Eastern Championship Wrestling. The Sandman was probably still a surfer dude. Tommy Dreamer was a white baby face, right? So, like, this was, like, as hardcore as it gets. But the okay, before we get to the finish, right? There's a deal where they're in the aisle, not the main entrance aisle, but another aisle, right? And off to the left, right, before they get to this kind of carabiner deal or whatever, there's a shit ton of like electrical wires and everything like that. And there was like this conscious kind of thing, and in my mind's eye, like, I want to believe that they're like, hey, brother, not the fucking lights. Vince will get pissed. Because there's, like, a whole fucking wall of just shit jerry-rigged together. Like, you could have fucking threw them there if you wanted to end the match. But you go for the fucking carabiner in the back. 10 feet away. That's the finish, brother.
And that would have been the end of Mania forever.
Forever. Then, now, forever. Damn right. But, you know, the finish of the match, I think it was creative as shit. And I, as a kid, popped the shit out of it. Like, there's this kind of fucking contraption, right? That had no other purpose than the fucking finish of this match. Because it was just kind of a fucking haphazard scaffold, right? And a little fucking carabiner fucking thing, right? And a rope, right? So Mach fucking ties big ass Crush, right? Brian Adams to the you know, to the scaffold, and is hoisting him up, trying to, and hoisting, I mean, like, literally inches from the ground. Inches from the ground, pulling him up, and then, you know, he's trying to tie it to the edge of the damn scaffold, holds it by his teeth, and whatever. And how strong is Savage's teeth? The Crush is like 280, 320, somewhere in that range. Good God. You know, it was just crazy. And then he ties him up, and before Savage can even get out of the shot, fucking Crush falls a whole 3 centimeters to his untimely demise. And the people there's a curtain in the back, and people are going like, whatever. And I want to say it was a cell phone camera, but again, to date myself, it was one of those disposable fucking cameras. And they're like, oh! And then there was even a dude like at the shitter, and he's just like, whatever. And you could feel like somebody said him, get the fuck out of the shot, and he's just like,
But I'm...
So yeah, but it's fun. Wrestling's supposed to be fun. I don't get.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell you had fun.
I had so much fun. It was so much fun. That's not even sarcasm. I loved it as much as I did as like a fucking 10-year-old kid. I was 9, 8, 9 the first time I saw it. Yeah, had just as much fun. It was so great. Again, we've had fucking exploding death matches that didn't explode. So, yeah, this is fun. This is way fucking better. I love it. Rocky Nelson wants to know, I got a question for both of you. What is your favorite match from 10? I'm going to go for it. Ladies first.
Owen and Bret, even though I'm not a fan of Bret Hart, I am a fan of Owen, and that was an amazing opener. That's an opener that proves when people say, you know, you need to take it kind of slow. It's just the opening match. No! Boom! That's what happened.
And they got fucking 25 minutes, right? Like, when the match ended, I was at 34 minutes. Now, we had that, you know, and I'm going to say it's the shit. Yes, fucking Little Richard is a legend. I got to meet him briefly. He was cool as shit to me. But the fact that you fucking deny Bret Hart a fucking autograph, piss the fuck off all the way. Like Rusty Fishing Hook, get fucked with it, man. And I know he's recently passed away, and before it he found the Lord. But I will also say, fuck you, Little Richard.
I'm sorry, Little Richard.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, hell yeah, that's my favorite too. Hell yes. So, yeah, that's a consensus pick. Rocky Nelson, Ayesha Raymond, this guy here, the face for radio. Again, WrestleMania 10, Bret Owen, amazing. They went. So when I got to the end of the match, it was like 34 minutes, right? And there was only 4 minutes, Little Richard, right? So with entrances, they got damn near 30 minutes to tell this story.
In the opening match.
In the opening match.
3
Crazy. Crazy, right?
Jake.
Ah, man. Yeah. So that's the one. That's the one. That's the one, Billy Gunn. That's the one. So on after Savage and Crush, we actually had Alundra Blaze and Leilani Kai, right? You know what? For what it was great. I think this match, right, could be. You could do this today. I think the style would, you can pass for it. It would be an opening match, right? But it could still pass. It doesn't look as janky and outdated as some of the stuff that, occurred during this era or even at this Mania, right? So I didn't mind it. Leilani Kai might have been 100 years old, though.
Oh. No, for me, I really like this match. I mean, like you said, this match has been done today. I've probably seen this match before somewhere. But it was just nice to see the mesh of styles because Alundra had just come back from like being awesome in Japan and bringing everything that she had bringing to WA, and it was just she was almost morphing for what they had before with your little hair pulls, maybe a slam, give you a sidewalk, send you off, or might give you a clothesline. No, I'm going to kick you in the face. I'm going to give you a hurricanrana. There's going to be a head scissors here. I'm going to put you in this submission hold. I'm going to come off the rope and do that. So she was actually almost evolving the women's style with this match, I personally think. And it's Deuce. It's Medusa. Amazing. I don't care. It's one of the things that I actually took pride in doing about the classic. I was just like, I love you. I really do. I do. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Yeah, and not only that, but I mean, the finish was a fucking Northern Lights. Was it more Northern Lights or was it more of a German?
She did grab the leg. What was it? Fisherman's? It was a suplex.
Yeah, it was either
it was in Northern Lights. No, it was Northern Lights. It wasn't Northern
Lights. Yeah. One Northern Lights suplex, folks. One Northern Lights. That's a fucking finish. Not five. As a setup to fucking Schoolboy. No. What the fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing, 2021 wrestlers? The fuck are we doing?
Darren, I had a headache this a couple of days ago. I saw a wrestler, a big girl, which I love big women wrestling, and in the match she did a springboard leg drop or a springboard elbow, and the finish was like you're big. That's supposed to be your spot move. Like, get out of here.
Wait, it wasn't Kali, who's a WWE Hall of Famer, literally the chop and the fucking nerve hold?
Yeah, but if you've got a big impressive move, why are you putting it in the middle of the match where people are going to forget it? You literally, the two things that people remember the match is entrance and the finish. Everything else in between is a fluffer.
You say that, but there's video around of young Giant, the soon to be the Big Show in the WWE now, no BS, Paul White, the amazing commentator of AEW Dark Elevation. Yes. No, not just a fucking initial drop kicks. He couldn't even fucking fit in the fucking ring after he fucking took the bump. After it.
That should be the finish. Drop kick. 1, 2, 3. Your chest should implode.
And not just that, he scaled like a fucking gazelle. He did the over the rope, jump over, and then he ran to whatever corner post, and then he fucking whatever with reckless abandon. It was all one fail swoop. It was, God, Paul White. You were great. You were great. Now you're doing commentary. God.
You said that commentary is a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's just him doing it. It's not great. It's just like sticking Shaq on NBA TV or whatever. Shaq and Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley predates it, whatever, and then you stick both of them on there with them just jabber jawing it. Oh, it's so great. It's a fucking train wreck. Imagine the Big Show doing 619. Here's the thing. They've got...
do one.
He might have. But if he didn't, well, they've got those, like, two big Eastern Indian gentlemen who have appeared for the... What is it? The Bollywood Jubilee or whatever the fuck they wanted to call it on the WWE Network, right? And then you haven't seen them do anything else. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those big motherfuckers do 619 before it's all said and done.
I don't know if this is me just hallucinating or just vaguely remembering things that are wrong, but I could swear there's an episode of SmackDown where he's done one. Like,
I believe it.
Stephanie era SmackDown, like that far back. Like, I'm gonna search YouTube. I'm gonna go down rabbit hole.
Yeah. You're probably not wrong. But yeah, so this, I mean, like I said, Alundra Blaze, Leilani Kai, it was amazing, and they only got 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and yes, Brett Noon got 2021, literally 2021. So, you don't have to have. Yes, it can be demoralizing as a worker, and you only get like 4 minutes under 4 minutes with entrances and what have you. But they told a hell of a story in the amount of time, so it doesn't matter if it could be 3 seconds, 3 hours, or whatever. If you keep the people enthralled and they believe in what you're doing, like, it shouldn't matter. No.
I mean, Daniel Bryan's was it his most highlighted career match? How many seconds was it?
It was over. It was over 8 seconds because that was the one that they were trying to beat. They were trying to beat Backlund and Diesel at MSG, which was 8 seconds. So I know they were trying to beat that, and they were over. But yes, less than 20 seconds.
Yeah. If you can get them interested, then yeah, to an extent. But still, 3 minutes is like. As a woman, it just makes me grind. Grinds my gears.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Which again, but this is one of those things where you had to have this to get to where we are with, this past, literally, 11 WrestleManias, WrestleMania 10, 27, some odd WrestleManias or some shit, right? 30, yeah, like 30.
Why can't either one of us count?
Don't know. That's why we do podcasts, because we talk. That's why. Only one skill only. And I know some Spanish. So, again, I've got that. Yeah. I can make a volcano out of water and vinegar and shit like that. That's what I got out of school.
I've never been able to do that. You got one up on me. I can't do that.
You're a badass wrestler that fucking trains a lot of badass wrestlers. So, again, you got...
I win again. Yes.
Yes, you win. You win. I'm just saying. Yeah, so this one is fun. Leilani Kai didn't look any bit of the Islander, whatever. The mullet was almost like Fabulous Moolah inducing, which, funny because we saw Fabulous Moolah along with Mae Young and Nikolai Volkov as legends in a box, like a press box, not an actual box. That would be weird. And it's funny because Nikolai, we see Nikolai, he's a legend here, but the next Mania at Hartford, WrestleMania 11 in Hartford, we see him a part of the $1 Million Corporation with Kama and King Kong Bundy and Ted DiBiase and shit. So I like it.
He evolved as a Pokemon. Advanced.
I love Nikolai, dude. The way that his tights went up to his belly, like I want that. Somebody make me according to what tights where you could disregard my belly and just look at my top half.
Just suck everything in. They're called Spanx. Just invest in Spanx.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Thank you, Nikolai Volkov Spanx. Hell yes.
Trademarks. You're going to see it's going to happen soon.
I might be looking at the Tibetan Alphas now, like right now. I've got an extra tab open. Speaking of extra tabs open, we had a WWF tag team match. Men on a Mission, Mabel and Mo with Oscar defeated the Quebecers, Quebecer Jacques and Quebecer Pierre with Johnny Polo. Oh my God. So this is fun, right? Because what Mabel went on, to become, right, in Viscera and Big Daddy V and what have you, everybody doing the Men on the Mission fucking thing, thinking they had soul. There was during the entrance. Yeah. And here's the thing. You want to know something really fucked, right? I mean, what's his name? Oh God, I forgot his name already. Oscar, right? Oscar's rapping, right? With the same amount of bars and cadence as R-Truth does now.
True.
Yes.
Very, very, very true.
Yeah. So again, that's their kind of inclusion of urban culture. I love that. Or what's it? Give it. What is it? Give it a fighting chance, Fatu, or something like that.
But technically, isn't R-Truth / K Quick / what else have we got now? In
It was K Quick, R-Truth, Ron Killings.
They're all the same spectrum of character. There you go.
Which is Oscar, so
In a bag. just unbox them. Okay, which generation is it? Okay, who gets this one? Okay. It's 2000. Oh, we'll give it to them. Okay. Catch!
Jesus
You can play this
Christ.
one for 20 years.
Wow. The sad thing is, be a star, Ayesha. Be a star. Damn it.
Be a star? Box.
Oh. Dick in a box, and that being Dick Ebersol, which is why we got Saturday night's main event. And if not for Saturday night's main event, when Randy Savage versus Bret Hart, I wouldn't even be a wrestling fan or a combat sports fan. So, again, Dick in a box. There you go. Thank you, Dick Ebersol. Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you, Dick in a box. Someone please soundbite that.
Yes.
Send it to him.
Yes. That'll be my new intro. Fuck it. Shit. Oh, okay. One other thing that I forgot to mention, back, kind of rewinding it back. Randy Savage crush with Mr. Fuji. The referee from this match is a young Joey Marilla. If that name might ring a bell, yeah, like Big Joe Marilla was Gorilla Monsoon, right? He was the stepson of Gorilla Monsoon, right? And unfortunately, he passed away not too long after this in a car wreck, right? So we got Fuji, we got Crush, we got Savage, we got Joey Marilla. Nobody's alive today. That's why I say enjoy this match while you had him, because I think it was great. I think they're all great.
You know, those kind of feelings are horrible. It's like I was watching a match the other day between Test and Eddie Guerrero, and it was just like,
yeah,
I can't do this.
Yeah,
it's horrible when you're reminded of it. Rest in peace to all.
Yeah, rest in peace. But thank you for the art form that you gave us, your pro wrestling. If not for pro wrestling, we would have never heard of any of these folk, and seen glimpses of their greatness. So, again, pro wrestling, thank you. But also, pro wrestling might have been contributor to a lot of this shit too. So, there's that too.
This is very true.
Yeah. Which, okay, so Men on a Mission, right? So you got Mabel, Mo, Oscar, right? And again, Mo just, I think he's doing indie shows in Memphis now, but like, they did the most with Mabel. They always try to keep him back, him and Bossman. If there was like, like a mystery partner or something during the Attitude Era, you would see one of these two, like, and repackaged like to the umpteenth degree, right? So you've got that, right? Now the Quebecers, right? Quebecer Jock, the former Mountie, right, in Jacques Rougeau, right? Yes, all American boys, right? And then Quebecer Pierre, who would go, that is Pierre Carl Arlette, or PCO, soon to be maniacal. Future Ring of Honor champion, world champion, the guy that can't be fucking stopped. He's a tag champ here, along with another person who would come on to win championship gold, Johnny Polo, who became Raven. Raven, quote the Raven nevermore. Like
Johnny Polo, though. Sorry.
I know.
I love Johnny Polo.
Johnny Polo was awesome. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. This is swarmy. But yeah, I mean, this is just great, right? Because Jock is pretty much blackballed for every wrestling. He has to run wrestling shows. He's got a son that is everything that the WWE wants, and they don't want to fucking touch him with a 10-foot pole because of his father. Holy shit, right? And then 2 future world champions in other companies in PCO and Johnny Polo, the precursor to Raven, in a tag match in '94. God, it's great.
For me, the one snipe I have is when I was growing up, I watched way too many. Was it RS Shoot interviews?
Mm-hmm.
That guy.
Rob Feinstein.
That's it. And the amount of complaints that they used to have for Mabel in this period and going forward, I physically can't watch. Like, I loved Viscera, but I physically can't watch Mabel. Everything he does just looks like it's killing somebody, or they're just dead on the floor right now. Like, but I can't watch it. I couldn't. It was good for what it was. Thank you very much, but.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it was because of Mabel that we got the Phantom of the Opera Taker, because he fucking caved Taker's face in. Just all of it. Just fucked all of his shit up. Just.
Did he sit on his face, or was it a punch? I can't remember.
No, they actually the new WWE show about the them finding stuff like heirlooms and whatever. They actually played the clip. It was Mabel running. Taker was like in the corner, and just that running kind of like splash that he did, but when he ran into splash, he cold clocks him so it wasn't the girth of Mabel, but the velocity of the fist behind a 600-pound man coming 30 miles an hour. Again, I'm not bad at that. I'm horrible. Yeah, but that's a lot. That's like getting hit by a truck.
Oh, okay. See, that's what I said. Every time.
Yeah. Now, before we move into the next match, we do miss a match because we were supposed to have, and it was advertised. Yes, we were supposed to have a 10-man tag, or 5-on-5, right? I think the Smoking Guns were there. Bob Holly's here. God, who else? I forgot. They don't even have it on the Wikipedia.
It's a 10-man tag for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was supposed to be IRS, right? The Head Shrinkers, Rick Martel, and Jeff Jarrett, right? Against 1-2-3 Kid, and Sparky Plug. This is removed from Thurman's Sparky Plug, right? And then before they got to, race driver Bob Holly, right? He was Sparky Plug at WrestleMania, well, supposed to be Sparky Plug at WrestleMania 10, right? Tatanka and the Smoking Guns. Yeah, man, this is... it's crazy that obviously Brent Owen got the time allotted and whatever, but a lot of people they point to the ladder match of Shawn and Razor being overtime.
You see, that's the thing is, I think there's probably 50 and 50% in that story. It probably was, but if 1-2-3 Kid was in the match that was also taken out, why would they screw over their own friend? In realistically, if you think about it that way, I know like wrestling is wrestling, and Facebook, Instagram pictures mean absolutely nothing, but we're not actually all real friends. But it doesn't make any sense for that to even be in the factor. But if that was the case, then time thief.
Well, you okay? How many times?
1-2-3 Kid was in the match.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in the match, right? But okay, so you say that, right? And in that same kind of clique is Kevin Nash, and Kevin Nash, especially in WCW, would fucking, not to say that he buried anybody, but also Sean Waltman was in WCW around the time that Kevin Nash was Booker. Did he get the rub? No. He would leave WCW where his friend, the Booker, was there for WWF.
True.
So I think it was more personal glory, rather than this, I guess, what the conglomeration of all the parts, right? So yeah, we'll screw over the kid. No worries. And again, as asshole, asinine, and egotistical as Shawn Michaels was, and by all intents and purposes, people will still say that he is. I believe it. I'm
50-50.
I'm always Team Brett, so I can't possibly fucking no matter all the cool shit that Adam Cole says about Shawn. Fuck Shawn Michaels, man. You can't be an asshole and a drug addict and then find salvation and still be an asshole. The fuck is that?
But then, what was it my brother said when I was younger? Isn't it weird how all the wrestlers of his generation have now found Christ? I'm like, what did you guys do?
Look at $1 Million Man! He's got, extortion charges!
What did you do?
He ran out of dye to dye his hair with the damn Trevor Lee or whatever the fuck his name is, NXT is, right? He ran out of dye because he needed that fucking payday. He couldn't even dye his shit, wrestling. And this is somebody who runs his own church in Mississippi, but he lived so high on the fucking hog that he had to sell it because he was getting exploited. And then his son Mike, named after his late great father, right? Well, he's in jail now for murder.
Oh.
So yeah.
Oh.
Money. Down, 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 down.
The tune though.
Thank you, Jim Johnston. And that's another thing about WrestleMania 10. Jim Johnston. Oh God. And check out the podcast with Chris Van Vliet, who just recently followed me on Twitter. So shout out to Chris Van Vliet. But he has this amazing interview last week with Jim Johnston, the creator of all things, and even gave him yes. There's no other. Really, AEW.
Man was the reason why I studied music. The way that he used to speak about how he created the entrance music for people, and he would sit there and he'd walk, and I was just like, you
light up my life. Jim Johnston.
Screw you, Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's all about
Yeah.
Jim Johnston.
Yeah, no, 100%. And even in that, as they were closing out, he gave you Undertaker, just on piano, like the Undertaker theme on piano. Like that's Jim Johnston, man. So everybody, like, hey, if you're a wrestling promotion and you need something, hire that motherfucker. That is going to be the greatest get that you will ever do. AEW, Impact, Ring of Honor. Hire that sumbitch. Please. He's a legend. Legend.
And your videos won't go muted on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, see?
When you when you're finished paying Metallica and Pantera.
Limp Bizkit too. Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, let's not forget about the biscuit.
Rolling.
And Twister and 50 Cent.
Yeah. These are reasons why, again, as big as a fan Wale is, I'm surprised that they let him do the fucking Mania thing this year. Because, like, these are reasons why Flo Rida will always be, like, when they need that rap, it's Flo Rida. And Flo Rida is not even a fan.
Is he not? He doesn't even. Oh, get paid. I'm not blaming you. I'm not mad.
Yeah, just saying. Now we have again this is a bit of a continuation of the underlying storyline of WrestleMania 10, right? Because we saw Brett and Owen, right, fight just as a kind of kibosh to their ongoing feud as a brother. But lest we forget, Brett and Lex Luger are basically Royal Rumble winners because they went over the top simultaneously. Right? They went over at the same time. Feet hit the floor at the same time.
We swear. Promise.
Yeah, absolutely. No matter what the replay says. But Lex Luger gets his chance because that was the deal with WrestleMania, right? You get your chance to face the champion at Mania, right? So Yokozuna, the current WWF champion, flanked by Mr. Fuji and Jim Cornette, basically is here against Lex Luger, the winner of the Royal Rumble, right? And this one, I was actually sad, right? Because I was a member of that Lex Express. I begged my dad to, let me miss school when the Lex Express came to San Francisco because I wanted to be on that bus, which is weird to say.
You drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, oh yeah. I thought it was it, man. I used to, when I would get into schoolyard scraps, here's what I would do. And I would get, like, when I felt my face start to get fucked up, what I would do is I would do the Tatanka, the fucking war dance, whatever, and then hit him with a fucking forearm, and then run the fuck away because it didn't work.
Because I didn't tell you it was work.
I cracked the motherfucker, though. I did crack him. He just didn't go down. I was like, oh shit, he's the Undertaker. Fuck it. I'm out.
He's undead, run!
Yeah! I thought I was going to get the dong. Oh, yeah! Still, 36 years old. Oh, well, 36 tomorrow. I'm not entirely convinced that if I shut the lights off, that I won't get that. So, I'm just saying. Wrestling's real to me, damn it. Real to me.
It's okay. It's fine. Not mad.
It's
fine.
It's Kawhi.
Tell him that it's not real later. It's okay.
And another deal. Mr. Perfect is a special guest referee. Arguably one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time. The late great Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, former AWA champion, won championships like literally everywhere he goes. Like, obviously he had this back injury, but I remember the fucking pop that happened when the fucking first few bars of his fucking theme song. Oh man, it's just take me back to fucking WrestleMania without the Jerry Lawler commentary. Good God, but take me back. This is amazing.
I blocked it all out if there was, but it was seeing the match for me was like it was Lex Luger's greatest hits move. That's what it was. It was just the greatest hits of Lex Luger. But I just watching Yokozuna move, I'm just like, oh, I just want to hug him. He's so
Great.
It's not.
Yeah, that's it's funny because like my wife and I, we kind of get into these things like, oh, why don't you like an X person in music, right? And I was like, and it kind of occurred to me because I grew up with like Tina Turner and Toni Braxton and what have you. So like, you Mariah Carey, right? Even like CNC Music Factory, right? The one-hit wonders and whatever, right? Like the Stacey Ladisaw. So I can't get into Beyonce. I just can't. She's got a couple songs that were created by Neo, right? But that's it. Like,
I like the way you pointed that out.
yeah, but that's I mean, and for if you are somebody that she agrees with, I'm not knocking it at all. I'm not saying she's not a hard worker or talented performer or singer. I'm not saying that. I just can't get with it. Or Rihanna, or I just can't because I had like an era of just fucking badass women of color, fucking Selena, God,
Aaliyah.
Like, Aaliyah, yeah.
If
Holy
Aaliyah
shit.
didn't pass away, there'd be no Beyonce. I'm sorry, universe, don't strike me down, but it's a fact.
I think the universe will prove you right. Yeah. So but it's also this. One of the reasons why I can't buy Roman Reigns, even with the fucking chief gimmick, right? The greatest, I will say, it has been money, right? This kind of current incarnation, but you still wear fucking SWAT boots and pants. Get the fuck out of here, right? But it's your cousin, Rodney Anoa'i, the great Yokozuna. That's why I can't fucking believe in you, because he was so great. Rikishi was so great. The head shrinkers were so great. All that shit. And yes, those are, as an Islander, there's a fucking stereotypical whatever. We're the savages and shit like that. But just in terms of, you fuck all that, right? Just the work rate.
Yeah, but
right?
you can't buy him, honestly, because even, like, I'm not an Islander, so I wouldn't know, but this is from my point of view, that he's Samoan when they choose him to be, because as far as I was concerned, when he first got there, they turned him into Iron Man. He was a comic book character. He was Cena 2.5. But he's Samoan when they choose him to be. When they want to flip on a camera and have him do an interview and, wave a flag somewhere and, hug some children. That's when he's Samoan. But apart from that, he's Roman Reigns, this unstoppable soldier. He's Iron Man. And to me, that's really offensive. I was just like, you can't. It's not a switch. You just can't. It's not the glove. You just can't.
Well, I mean, again, this is, the Undertaker wasn't undefeated until they realized, oh, I guess he's undefeated. Maybe we should mention this.
Crap. Oh no. Oh yeah. By the way, there's no more streak.
Yeah.
Turn it down.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's weird. Which, funny enough, there's no Taker on this card. There's no Taker on this card.
That's actually true. What happened? What was wrong during that time?
Wow. I want to believe that might have been the Mabel fucking up his orbital. I want to say.
Because why would you then put if Mabel was on the show and then crack my skull in? I'd be very annoyed. That's my paycheck.
Yeah. I don't know, but Taker was just a worker. He wasn't the backstage leader and judge in the fucking wrestler's court that he would end up becoming in later years. So. Yeah. So he was just a guy. So yeah. So but again, this I just love it because we have the interwoven story. Like this is two stories kind of coming to a head, right? With the Brett and Owen saga, right? Brother versus brother, and Sue and Helen Hart were there, and then you have Brett and Lex being co-Royal Rumble winners, right? And Lex gets his deal. Again, if Owen Hart isn't your MVP of Mania, well, Yoko has to be, right? And it's sudden because little further down the line, they would become tag team champions together. Actually, the next WrestleMania 11, they would become tag team champions with Jim Cornette and Fuji. So that's great. But I just love that we got something out of it. And this match went, this went a little bit. What was the official? 14:40. So almost 15 minutes. Yeah. Again, dude. I would also torture rack the fuck out of people.
See, the thing is, I never could set that up properly until probably like 2 years ago. I'd always just put people on a Samoan. I couldn't get how and why they were backwards. My brain just wouldn't flip them over, ever.
So I had still have pretty good forearm strength. It's deceiving. It doesn't look like much, but so when I grab a hold of you, you're kind of fucked, right? Not to say that I could do anything with you, whatever. But when fucking Luger would hit that shit in WCW, I would just like these hands, and just go like this, and I would sacrifice my whole fucking neck. Like me now doing jiu-jitsu and everything. I'd be like, it's stupid, so stupid. But like people didn't know, right? So I would just like go like this. And their forearms, and that's what would go under their thigh and neck, and I just like almost like a reverse Death Valley, like a burning hammer, like a fucking burning hammer. Just hold them like that, and just fucking bounce around, but less like because Luger did the hop, I did more like earthquake. I jumped all around the fucking playground, my fat self, and they were fucked. You know who ran away? No one, because I was gassed and they were paralyzed. But that's another story for another day.
They were paralyzed.
Sorry. Yeah. So, I'm just saying. Speaking of earthquake, we have literally the shortest match on this card, right? We had Earthquake versus Atom Bomb with Harvey Whippleman. 35 seconds is all we needed. Man, it's crazy, right?
It's nice seeing Harvey Whippleman.
Well, see, here's the thing. So Atom Bomb, right? Brian Clark and Crush, Brian Adams, right? The Bryans, not the what is it? The fucking Gamma 6 Shriek Screen, the 5 and Dime. What is it? Summer 69. There you go. That fucking guy. Not that guy. The other one. The fucking Kona Crush. Shaka Bra. Right? They would go on later to become WCW Tag Team Champions in Chronic. But yeah, they're both here straddling heel face territory, and a lot of people talk about, of the similar kind of decree, Razor Ramon and Diesel showing up as Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, and like, how the fuck are these two united when they were enemies in other promotion? But we have these two here, and I don't know if they ever clashed, but they were both on WrestleMania 9 and 10, right? And yeah, and then they become a tag team later. So I think it's fun. I just think it's fun.
I mean, I know because of how short it was, there's not much to say. But like you said, Chronic, I couldn't unsee that. All I can ever remember when anybody ever mentions Chronic, or whenever I can see a vision of them, is the match that they had with Taker and Kane.
Oh.
Yeah. Bump! Feed! Fuck! I was like, oh no.
And that's when they realized they fucked up, right?
My whole career flashed before my eyes.
Yeah, God.
Nah, just shut it down. Shut it all down. It's done. Anybody want to play golf? No? Golf?
I
Bob!
guess. Dude, I was so into Adam Bomb. Like, that was the first wrestler that also had my name. I started telling people I was from 3 Mile Island. I was
Just so you could get that extra clout. There was no social media then, so you're wasting your time.
No, it was just like extra fucking baseball cards. That's what that was. More ice cream cups at lunch? Yeah, that's it. Because you have the same name as Adam Bomb. And he's a badass. So that's it. Look how simplistic our expectations were back in our youth. Good God. I love it. Just saying.
Simple needs.
Yeah. She called me simple. You're not the first one. You won't be the last. Anywho, speaking of not simplistic, we have Razor Ramon as the co-intercontinental champion, and he goes against, again, intercontinental champion, because, again, there was a time Razor went away, Shawn Michaels wins, and then Razor's like, hey, I'm the real IC champion, right? And Shawn is with Diesel, and they say it's the greatest ladder match of all time, but nobody says that nowadays because there's been so many other ladder matches. Also, ladder matches and tables. I mean, essentially TLC. There's a whole pay-per-view based around the TLC, tables, ladders, and chair concept. So this one doesn't get as much respect. It was a great match, but again, Brett and Owen, you had that to start the match, and they didn't have any gimmicks.
You're never going to get away from that one, are you? The one thing that always kind of annoys me about this match is I hated the fact that the narrative of it has always kind of been, it's Shawn wrestling himself with a ladder there, or Shawn wrestling a ladder, and they don't really often kind of give Razor Scott Hall the credit that he deserves. Like, I'm sorry, he was there too. Shawn wouldn't have been bumping. He wasn't gonna fly in the air by himself. Like, there was a story that had to be told. Like, even from Shawn leaving, taking the belt with him, taking his food and going home. He took his ball and go home. That's the saying. And Razor being crowned the new champion after the Battle Royal. So you had this dual champion, and he never not referred to him as champion. So you had the story building up. Who's going to be the real champion? But when it came down to the match, everyone has always said it's basically Shawn wrestling a ladder, and it's not. It really isn't. Like, it's one of the most, for me, one of the most greatest ladder matches, just because it kind of set the stage. It's not in terms of like the ooh and ah and the, basically the death-defying stunts that we see nowadays, because even so many people have said they wish they didn't do half the shit that they did. But in terms of actually using a ladder in a match, there were ladder matches before this, regardless of what everybody says. Do your research. Just go on the internet now. YouTube it. Ladder matches before WE. You will find more. But this kind of set the stage for everything that was going to come after within the WE universe. Nowhere else, just the WE universe.
Yeah. And again, Scott Hall is in my book in terms of top 10 greatest professional wrestlers who have never won a world title. There's no way in hell that Scott Hall is in here. And I believe it's a narrative, right? Because and this shows you how shitty the WWE can be towards their performers. Because, they were saying this, that Shawn had a match with himself. It was
and a ladder. It's just
right. But that was at a time where they were distancing himself from him, the person, because he wasn't doing so great in his personal life. He had, public struggles and all this shit way before, DDP stepped in, thankfully, and before Scott Hall, went into the WWE Hall of Fame, which, funny enough, they did the same thing of fucking Ultimate Warrior, the Self-Destruction of Warrior DVD, right? It's a narrative that they fucking play when you're on the outs with them, right? And just like the whole, Mickey James shit in a trash can, gear in a trash can, or trash bag, I should say. You can't say that you don't do this shit, right? Because they said the claimed ignorance when they fucking sent, Punk's release on his wedding day. Like, there's Owen Hart's fucking dead, folks. This is you guys. It's you guys. Used guys. Used guys, man. Fuck, man. Like, yeah. I just
go with numbers and the English too.
Yeah. Oh, I went with the northeastern accent. Is what I went. That was a creative choice because it happened in New York. So I started to sound more New Yorker. New York. There we go. Anyway. Yeah. But yeah. So I don't know. It was great. And it was funny because also my mom was rewind it back when Shawn Michaels takes a bump off the ladder with his trousers down. So my mom liked that.
Of course she did. He did that for the ladies. That was for the ladies.
Yeah. But no, it was great. But fucking, they talk about Shawn. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon won this shit. That was what the crowd popped for. Again, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, whatever you want to fucking call him, one of the greatest of all time. All time. He's definitely top 100, definitely top 10 in guys who worked and never won a world title because why wouldn't he? And again, with your theory about the match going over because of Kid, right? Well, also, Razor, right? Scott Hall's buddy, Kevin Nash, was on the booking committee. He had the fucking book and didn't, whatever. This is, again, nepotism at its fucking best. Yes, we can all shine, but I'm going to shine first. Let me get this shit first. Let me get my shit in, kid. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just saying. But I'm going to say fucking Razor is just amazing here. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, and in this one, right, they all went into the Hall of Fame together. Razor, Shawn, Diesel, and they're all still alive. Yay.
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 And anybody who wants to Razor Ramon or Scott Hall, his model on how he actually created the Razor Ramon character, anybody literally listen to the story, and if you understand the story and you can do what he did, that's what makes you a great character and a wrestler and a worker. Because he was able to come prepared and he showed them something that they didn't have. He gave them a reason to book him. He gave them a reason to want him because he gave them something they didn't have, nor did they even know what they wanted. Was it Vince and who else didn't even want Scarface?
Maybe Pat? Because I want to believe that Bruce Pritchard knew, right? So it had to, when you look at that era of booking, right? So you've got Pat, you've got Cornette wasn't there yet, right? So you've got Vince, Pat, Bruce Pritchard. Who else? Because Lanza and Tony Gurria and Rene Goulet, as well as Chief J Strongbow, they were all agents, but they weren't on the creative team. So I want to say the big three were Vince, Pat, and
Pritchard, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Pritchard.
Yeah.
So I want to say if there's 2 out of the 3 that didn't watch Scarface, I want to say it's Pat and Vince. I want to believe that.
You want to?
I don't know. Maybe, or because come on, fucking Bruce Pritchard is known and seen the fucking boxing gimmicks, right? Yeah. Gimmicks are us. So I want to believe. But go check out something to wrestle with. My friend Steve Kaufman runs a YouTube for that shit, so support that shit too, man. I love it. But we're at the fucking main event. We're in the fucking main event. We have Yokozuna, the defending champion, and defended it right here earlier on the card. Literally like an hour and change before this, or not even that.
Oh, for his knees, yes.
Yeah, not even that, because Men on a Mission and Mabel. So the first one was he goes 14-10 with Lex, right? And then we get a 35-second match with Atom Bomb and Earthquake, and then the ladder match, and then Yoko's back.
20 minutes.
Yeah, that's all he got. The man of his size and his girth and his work rate, and he was gassed. Like, his family will tell you. We kind of saw that on the WWE Icons. Brett said it. He was just try to get it. He was so gassed up to here. Like within 2 minutes into the match, he was just like it. But I love the finish. I love Roddy Piper as the referee here. We were talking about, They Live, Hot Rod. And again, you want to talk about pops? That was a fucking pop. When those bagpipes played. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. I mean, it became unglued. And that's what I'm talking about. Fun, right? As maybe atrocious as some of, like people dog. The new generation was my favorite era of pro wrestling, right? I just loved it. I loved it. Not to say that it didn't fucking have its bad things, the fucking Goon and TL Hopper and shit like that, but then the fucking, you fucking Mae Young giving birth to a hand and Naked Mini is what we had in the Attitude Era. So don't at me.
Still the greatest era.
Okay. That's cool. I was watching, but for me, this and it was just right place, right time. If I was like a 20-something-year-old fan, it probably wouldn't have appealed to me. I was in the top. This is the one time, right? This kind of 91 to 95, right? Was the one time that in my close to 36 years of life that I was in the target demographic of the pro wrestling bookers in WCW and WWE respectively. So I'm not mad at it.
It's weird. I've never been in the target demographic because I was watching it when I was too young, and then by the time I was of age and watched it, they changed into the PG era. So it was just like, oh no.
That almost needs to be the I don't know what No Way Jose is doing, but I know he can't use No Way Jose. He should just go, oh no. But then again, that's Chris Hero's gimmick. Oh no, Cassius, oh no. So,
but that's a WE name. Is he called Cassius Ono in WE? Or they called him Chris Hero now because on commentary?
I think he might have been released.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in a while. Him and Rachel Ellering, the daughter of the great Paul Ellering of the Road Warriors fame, and they're together, and I think they're both on the outs because Rachel's an Impact, and we haven't seen Chris Hero or Cassius Ohno at all anywhere. If somebody knows where one of the he is, please send him to me.
Comments.
Yeah, comment here. Also,
2 clicks.
Yeah, especially if he's on the outs. I might know a podcaster that might want to have him on his podcast.
No, there you go.
Just saying. But yeah, I just the concise storytelling, right? When WWE wants to, they can be the very best in terms of storytelling, right? So we've got Brett and Owen kind of finishing their feud and Owen getting the win, right? But Brett still has a title match. It's something that the commentary kind of laced into all of it. And then we have Yoko and Lex, right? Because he has to get his Royal Rumble shot, right? A Royal Rumble enabled shot. And so we've got that. And then you've got Brett and Yoko on top. We got Roddy Piper there. And then, I love the finish where the wobbling of the rope and everything. It was just so... That was... To me, it's still great, right? That's a finish, right? When you have 80 fucking Spanish flies and all that, whatever, wobbling of the rope. And for a guy his size, right? That looks visually just... I don't know how much work or whatever. Yeah, I could have thought the fucking whole, not just the ring, but the whole Madison Square Garden could have caved in. Him just wobbling the rope,
That was the finish.
Yeah, because they have, the Garden's this dome kind of thing. So if it just went further down, Like you took one of those New York trains to Madison Square Garden, but instead of going up, you just got off, and there you go. There's your Madison Square Garden. You just you pull in right into a ticket taker, and you go like here, and you go in. That's what
amazing.
That's what would have happened if Yoko would have caved in the whole venue, but he didn't. We get Brett as the champion, beating Yoko, lifting his leg, which
everyone's celebrating, confetti falling.
Dude, young Scott Steiner, Scott Steiner and Savage, right? Pre-proper pump Scott Steiner and Savage are the ones who hoisted Brett up. Yeah.
Which one do you think is more cheesy, Brett's or Kurt's title celebration? Whose one do you think looks the most cheesiest?
Kurt, for sure.
Really? I think Brett's.
No, that to me was
because I'm just like back then. I don't know if you had that many friends.
Nah. Okay, so.
Not to insult, I'm just saying. In terms of stage work, I'm not sure you had that many friends.
Because I'm thinking about it, right? I'm thinking about it, and you've got obviously you've got the workers, the babyface workers that all came out, and Mach fucking points back to Brett, and you've got Piper there, who is a face at this time because he returned. That was when you automatic face, you just return, and you're a baby face, right? So yeah, but I liked it, right? And then Owen coming out, that's what sealed the deal. If this wasn't everybody's favorite, if this wasn't mine, screw everybody. Like, if this wasn't my favorite WrestleMania, right? Already, the Owen, right? Owen coming out, and they're inviting him in. Yeah. And there's this, like, momentary pause, like, he's going to go, and he's just like, you motherfucker, just out of... That's what I want to believe Owen said, you motherfucking son of a bitch. Even though they have the same mom. Yeah. But yeah, it's just like it's so great. It's so great. And also, what we're talking about Owen, right? Again, this is so rich when you unpack all the nuances and everything like that, right? The entrance, right? Howard Finkel, right? From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and everybody's like, ah! And then and the Rocket theme plays, and him coming out with the fucking glasses, and then going up to the top and fucking tearing it. Like, there's so... Oh, this is where WWE is at their best in storytelling. And it might not be fucking... Maybe it was just Brett and Owen. Just knew how to outwork everyone else, right? I don't care. I really don't care. This is great. This is why it's my favorite WrestleMania of all time. Like, Brett and Owen being so prominently featured. It's just... man,
what Brett and Owen show. It was a Heart Foundation show. It was WrestleMania Heart Foundation sequel.
And we had, didn't we see like Jim Anvil and Davey Boy with Martha and not Martha, but Stu and Helen? Weren't they in the crowd? I want to believe. Yeah. So, yeah, man, this is. If you didn't know Owen was a star, and mind you, right, in '89, he wasn't even with the company. Like, he was touring Japan, scoring an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. Yes, Owen Hart is an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion before the Best of the Super Juniors and all that. He was with Otto Wanz in Germany, right? And he even did a stint in WCW, in '89. And then less than 5 years later, he's back and in the most prominent spot with the brothers, right? With his brother. A lot of people talk about, like, Undertaker and Kane as, like, the best brother storyline that they went across, generations and incarnations. Okay, first of all, Glenn Jacobs, Mark Calloway, not brothers, right?
True.
One. Two, if your argument is, well, Brett and Owen didn't have as long to tell the storyline as Kane and Taker did, I got.
Oh, sorry, Karen.
Oh, I was gonna say, why didn't you book it? One, why didn't they book it? And why'd you kill him, fuckers? Why'd you kill Owen?
Yeah.
We could have got more out of Owen. His family could have got more. Us as fans could have got more. Kurt Angle would have been a perfect foil. You want to talk about celebrations and anything? I could see fucking Owen running in and breaking up fucking Kurt Angle's WWF celebration in the same manner that he did with Brett. Like, it's there. You know, we lost because of the WWE. But WrestleMania is a time that we don't necessarily look back to what we lost versus what we gained as fans.
True. I mean, it was weird because didn't they own most of the Stampede footage by this time, or did they not?
Yeah, because when Brett, Davey, and Anvil come over, yeah, the Stampede was purchased, so that happened pre-WrestleMania 1.
So they had content, they had the footage. The only thing they'd have to deduct is like all of his work in Japan. So you could have told the story a very long time ago.
But then again, you know, you got to remember, right? This is pre-YouTube. This is pre, like, everything. So all they had was their syndicated show in Wrestling Challenge or WWF Superstars, and then 1 hour of Raw. Yeah, Raw was 1 hour, folks. It was just one, and it was good. Yeah. It was actually fucking good, right? So only 3 hours of television per week. How much could you have gone, right? This is pre the precursor to the network on pay-per-view, where you can buy a Legends Roundtable for like $10 and whatever, and see like Dusty and all of them shooting the shit, smoking cigars and all that. Like, this is before all of that, so they couldn't really go into much of anything. And also, you know, the time and effort. When you think about this is the down period. Like, as much as I love Brett on top, right? One of the most financially disastrous eras for the WWF. Yes, they went to Mania to kind of, you know, every, like, 1, 10, 20, 30, right? All happens. Well, 30 didn't happen at the Garden, did it? I don't think so.
No.
That was the Superdome, where he called it the he called it the Silverdome. Hogan did.
Yeah. Super.
Yeah.
It's too small Hogan by that time.
Yeah.
Too small is what they say.
Not too sweet. But yeah, so they ran WrestleMania 10 not just because of nostalgia, but also out of necessity, right? And we even saw. And they did a pretty good record because, like, you saw what they would end up becoming, right? Because they had the fan access, right, or fan fest. They were calling it fan fest, where you could dunk Doink the Clown in a fucking dunk tank, where you could, get your autograph by Hillbilly Jim, or dress up as a sumo and have not Chad Patton, Mike Chioda, basically raise you the victor, right? Like, this was the precursor to WrestleMania Access, right? In terms of testing the waters, right, of what they can do in terms of capacity. They also ran the ass end of the Garden, too. So apparently I went dark. But, yeah, you're getting inclinations of what we would, what we would get later. Yes. My wife is not mad at me anymore. She turned the lights out on me. Yeah.
Get out of my house!
She might still be mad at me. But yeah, my favorite fucking WrestleMania ever. It still stands up. I will watch that. Like, if you took away all of the wrestling and left me this, I'm not mad at it. Especially WWE. Japan I need. Japan I fucking need.
I need.
Yeah. Yeah, Japan I need. Japan I need. So if you give me WrestleMania 10, NXT UK, whatever, and like everything else ceased to exist, I'm good with it. I'm totally good. Although I never,
WrestleMania 10.
yeah, although I never got any footage of Ed Strangler Lewis, so maybe if I saw something like that out there, then maybe that might, like him just fucking crushing people in a headlock, that might be cool.
I'll see if there's any like Twitter, YouTube rabbit hole footage that I can find.
Oh, please do, God. Yeah, but that's it. So what? As we kind of stand, kind of come away from it. Obviously, we mentioned Brett and Owen. We mentioned Alundra Blaze. We mentioned Luda. Do you have like MVPs for this card?
For me, we said Brett and Owen already. I love the ladder match. I do. Like, it is one of the most kind of bump-tastic matches, because it's just Shawn basically just skirting all over the place and dying, but it is very still physically and visually entertaining, even though it's something that was so alien at the time, having to sticking the ladder in the middle of the ring. Obviously Alundra Blaze is Leilani Kai, because women's match is women's match. For me, that match was like an imprint in the evolution of what you were going to see in later days. So yeah, there's my MVP.
You know what my MVP is? Outside of Owen, for sure. Outside of Yoko. The fucking entrance. I loved it. It was an X, and then they fucking part of the X. Just the visual of that in the tunnel. Oh, man. And these get, like, glossed over because we had Austin, later of the same. I want to believe it was the same tunnel as the King of the Ring, right? That Jeff Hardy and Jeff and Matt. Do you know the story about Ultimate Warrior just fucking ramrodding the shit out of him?
Yes.
Yes. A 16-year-old Jeff Hardy fucking closes the door. Ultimate Warrior comes flying fucking out of the... son of a bitch, that guy. Oh, man. Yeah, so, but that, right? That tunnel was the WrestleMania 11 tunnel, was the King of the Ring tunnel, was the Austin glass-breaking tunnel, right? But to me, it is the WrestleMania 10 tunnel to me. It will be and forever will be that. It's just the visual. I pop so hard even watching it now. It's just like, it's an X and it's just visually impressive. It's nice gold and marble. Actually, funny enough, the graphic that I used for this was somebody over in your neck of the woods in the UK that recreated the WrestleMania 10 set, and it's for purchase on eBay. Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud because somebody might purchase it. Yeah, but
no, they've done something nice for your friend then.
Fucker, no, buy it for me. Birthday's tomorrow. If you guys buy it,
buy it for me.
buy it for me. Damn it. This is my favorite. It had everything that I wanted. This is my greatest era, the culmination of my favorite era of pro wrestling, especially in the WWE. This is it. This is it on a fucking silver platter. You had Mach here, which ended up being Mach's final WrestleMania as an in-ring competitor, right? Like, there's just so much. And yes, we didn't get the 10-man tag, but you kind of didn't need it. Like, everything here was where it was supposed to be. I hate the fact that those 10 guys missed out on a payday, a Mania payday, but then, yeah, but then when you look at what they got on Raw the next night, right? Or, yeah, it was the next night. They basically did it over. Weren't missing much.
Yeah.
I would have had, like, okay, Ayesha Raymond, if you're booking Mania 10, would you lose? Yeah, would you lose the 10-man tag? And not had, or maybe I should have worded it. Would you take off Alundra and Leilani for the 10-man tag?
No.
Okay. Would you want
a women's match?
Right, and would you lessen the ladder match of Taker and Sean and Razor.
I'm sure you could have cut a little bit of time off the opening. As much as it was great, I'm sure you could have taken about 5 minutes off, and it would have made a difference.
All right.
I would have taken a little bit off the opener, just because the 30, 15. Was it, what is it? 30 or 15? 15 minutes.
Yeah.
30. Yeah.
No, it's like I want to say it's like 18.
18. So
18:47. Yeah.
20-minute match. So realistically, 15 minutes of entrances. Making it 20. Yeah,
so you
could take like 2 minutes off the opening match.
Okay. Yeah, and when you look at the times, right? So the dark match, Heavenly Bodies, and Bushwhackers, everyone on the show. You're not fucking touching Brett Moen. Not worth a damn. Not worth a damn.
But you know why I say that? Because what is the point of having a 30-second match if you're going to cut out a match that could have been... Like you could have given them that 30-second match and stuck Bundy and...
Oh, you mean...
the thing. Yeah.
Oh, Earthquake.
Yeah, sorry, Earthquake, my bad. Earthquake in the 10-man, 12-man clusterfuck.
Yeah, but... Oh, God. Like... Could you have theoretically gotten all 10 men down with entrances and finished in 35 seconds? That would have been a hard fucking thing to do. So, like, I get it. Yes, you could have taken off. Like, the only thing that's disposable on this was Earthquake, Atom Bomb. But then you could have also said, with as gassed as Yokozuna would end up being later in the night, you might have shaved... You could have done Luger and Yoko for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
If Yoko was going to win anyway.
Especially, if he was going to wrestle twice. Yeah.
Yeah, because the finish was, Luger hit him with the damn, bionic arm, right? He tumbles out. Was that the finish? Or am I thinking something different?
Now I've forgotten completely.
Oh, God.
I'm just trusting your word for it now.
There was something where Luger fucking hit Yoko with the bionic deal. He tumbles out and gets a count out, but that would make Luger the winner but not the champion. Something happened here. Because there was a disqualification.
Why don't we remember the finish? We just talked about it. We literally just talked about it.
I don't know. Too much wrestling. Too much wrestling.
We literally just talked about it.
I don't know. But yeah, add us in our DMs. That'd be cool. No,
Yeah,
but that's
do
that's WrestleMania 10. My favorite WrestleMania. I couldn't have been more thrilled to talk about this. This is the first time I've talked about it so openly and so thoroughly, and I'm glad to have Ayesha Raymond do it with me and oblige. Yeah, so Ayesha, where can they find out what you and Fierce Females are doing on the interwebs?
Fierce Females Glasgow, Fierce Females Wrestling. You can basically search those and everything will come up. At Fierce Females Glasgow on Twitter. And for me, from my wonderful face, everything at BigFemVader on any social media platform, and you'll get me.
Yep.
Only me.
Only her. There's not a different one. There's not another. You cannot replicate the immortal BigFemVader. No, you can't. No. But if you want to find more of this guy with the face for radio that seemingly becomes visual, according to words on everything, and you'll get podcasts aplenty and dumb shit dad memes. That's what I'm offering you guys. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I might put out my damn Cash App and Venmo, because all I'm gonna do, total disclosure, is buy fucking more stock. So I'm just saying. So if anybody wants to send me Bitcoin or Dogecoin or Weeble links, get at me. I might make that public today. So there's that. So yes, this is the last podcast that I do at 35. So thank you, Ayesha Raymond, for doing that.
It's his birthday tomorrow.
This is my birthday song. It isn't very long. Hey, bang. There we go. So. Thank you guys for joining us. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to Fierce Females. If you don't believe it, well, here's A to Zang.